How's it going, guys? It's me, Simb. Just wanted it to be stated that whether you know me or don't know me, I want it to be known that I'm a huge Kamen Rider fan. Out of the main three Toku, Kamen Rider is definitely my favorite. My first seasons of Rider were Kabuto and Build, which were amazing footsteps into the world of Kamen Rider, and me choosing to watch these older seasons made me wonder how I could watch the season that was currently airing weekly. That introduced me to Kamen Rider 01. Which was the current season airing, and in September of 2020, the next season of Rider would air, Kamen Rider Saber. Now, Saber is where I'd say my Kamen Rider obsession really started to blossom. I was looking at all the leaks, all the scans, all the rumors, in anticipation for what would be the first Rider season I watched weekly, live as it aired. If you haven't seen Saber yet, spoilers. The story centers around 24-year-old novelist Toma Kamiya, who at the beginning of the show is an amnesiac with no memories of his childhood, outside of a few revolving around Kento Fukumiya and a girl named Luna. After receiving his seiken, Kainken, he would join the Sword of Logos as Kamen Rider Saber. Toma, in his own right, is a great character in my opinion. Like, I genuinely love Toma so much, and I'd love to talk about him because he's one of my favorite Rider protagonists just in general. But today's video, which will be split into two parts, isn't about Toma. He'll be an important talking point at times, and he is an important element to the video at hand, due to him being the protagonist of the show, and the Rider we're talking about today is extremely close to him. But I just want to say that he isn't the central focus. Today, we'll be talking about one of my favorite Riders of all time, along with one of my favorite character arcs in all of fiction. Today's video is about Kento Fukumiya, aka Kamen Riders Espada and Caliber. Now, I just want to end part one with getting the basics out of the way, and what I mean by the basics is I just want to go into a little brief bit of Kento, like a bit of Kento's story, nothing too heavy. I want to save all of the heavy plot description and the in-depth analysis for part 2 and a potential part 3, because I feel like this video series is going to be pretty long. So, Kento Fukumiya is the tertiary rider of Kamen Rider Saber and Toma Kamiya's childhood best friend, playing a prominent role as a force of good alongside other riders like Saber, Blades, Buster, Kenzan, and Slash. As the second wielder of the Seiken of Lightning, the Raimei Nikazuchi, he is able to fight as Kamen Rider Espada to fight against enemies such as the Megid and Kamen Rider Caliber. All while doing this, he was trying to figure out the disappearance of his father Hayato. Later on, he would inherit the Kurayami for a short amount of time and go on a bit of a crusade to stop the end of the world, taking up the mantle of the third Kamen Rider Caliber, a crucial event that we are definitely discussing more in part 2. But I feel like this is the basics for Kento throughout Saber's first half, which will mainly be part 2's discussion. So in part 2, we'll be discussing the first half of Saber and what it does for Kento, and that is not even this one. And by the time I finish up for part 3, which will be the final stage of Kento, which is essentially Kento in the endgame arc of Saber, his story arc in Trio of Deep Sin, and the conclusion overall as to why I think Kento is just so heat. Like, I know I said that this video series is probably going to be split into 2 parts, but I definitely did not mean that. It's probably going to be split into 3 parts because there's just so much about Kento that I want to speak about. So here we are. But yeah, that was really it for today's video. Something short, something brief. I just wanted to make a little short video to, you know, it's the first part. It's the first part in a series of videos about Kento. I don't want the first part to be long. I want it to be a brief little introduction just to ready everybody up into getting into the next few parts. So yeah, if you don't need to watch part 1, you can totally skip it and go watch the second part. But you should watch part 1 because we do a bit of discussion here about Kento, and we do speak a little bit about him. I feel like part 1 is mainly great for the people who haven't seen much of Saber, or at least want to see Saber and don't mind, being spoiled a little bit. You get your little bit of brief character discussion, and if you want to continue watching Saber from there forward, please do take the time. It is an amazing Kamen Rider season, and yeah, that's really it. Like, I'm going to love doing the series. I'm going to love talking about one of my favorite Kamen Riders of all time, and we're going to keep pumping out these videos, man. Part 2 in a week or two. But yeah, it's been Toku Simb. It's a pleasure like always. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Keep pushing my shit in the algorithm so Toku becomes something that, more people talk about. That's my goal here. That's my dream here, to see Toku on a wider scale and to see it on a wider screen. So, yeah, it's been Toku Simb. You guys have a good one. Peace.